single the rest of their lives, they want to live a bachelor lifestyle and date everybody, go ahead. As long as we're not using narcissism, manipulation to hurt people.
Ladies and gentlemen,
you are now about to witness
the journey that is the Lyfe Choyces podcast.
Yeah!
Last time you were on, we got to know a lot more about the new website, the new business, how there are actual programs that men and women can sign up for to learn to create a better opportunity to find the one, to build confidence, to learn the fundamental ability to approach someone, talk to someone, continue down the path of dating.
Yep. And we also offer, this will go into another conversation, but we also offer, we will take you through this like in person. Obviously, it's like a higher level part of the program, but like if you want to come and just do this, we'll do like a whole weekend or like a whole
like kind of like a workshop, in real time, in real situations with people that you don't even know. Just show up to a location, and like you and I would sit down at a coffee shop. You'd be like, all right, do you see anyone in here that you think you would be attracted to? I'm like, oh yeah, maybe that one or that one over there, and then the process would start. Yeah.
And we, like, again, this would be different for whoever is coming to the thing, but we might just be like, okay, let's be like in the first 5 minutes, all right, we'll go over and talk to her. And that, you know how daunting that sounds to a lot of people? Like, what? I'm going to do what? Go over and talk to her. I don't care what happens. She might slap you in the face. She might just look at you like, what the fuck? Who cares? But we know we're going to know where to go. And then from there, we'll do a whole thing. We'll do that, then we'll go back to like a setting, maybe like this or whatever. We'll do like a whole workshop. We'll work. But then we make it fun. Then we'll go back out. We'll do like dinner. We are going to surround ourselves with women. Yes, they're learning, but also we make it fun. And also we make it worth their time, their money, and we make it an experience for them.
You're going to put them in a situation where they have the opportunity of being able to try the skills in which they're learning through the program. Through this program that you offer, it's almost like for my interpretation of what you've been telling me about the business is that you're almost at the same time as not just being in the dating realm, you're also in the kind of like the life coaching realm as well.
Oh yeah.
Where you're trying to help people better themselves to be abundant in life so that the skills they learned here are transferable into different aspects of their life where they can now become abundant in living.
Exactly. I mean, that is really kind of like what life is really all about. We're always being projected some bullshit from somebody else. The person you want to be is your higher self that already exists in universe or whatever you want to call that. We're going towards that.
Well, we're living in the exact same time in which both your higher self and your old self are still in.
Yeah.
That's something that people don't always understand, that you are all of these things at the same time, just in a different universe of that moment.
Yeah.
Which
sounds confusing, but I understand.
Opening yourself up to the opportunity to learn about yourself through dating is a wonderful, huge aspect of it.
Yeah.
When you learn about yourself, paying for the program is a stepping stone to become successful with this also after the fact. So that you can be abundant in attracting what it is you want, because you're becoming what it is you wanted.
Huge.
Yeah.
It's huge. Living a joyful life. So remember, we call it the inner child. It's because like when you were a child, did you have any cares or worries or anything? You just walked outside, you were like, hello, and you were just playing with your friends or whatever you were doing. It's because life hasn't weighed on you yet, because you're young and you're just vibrant and like you don't understand that like shit is fucked up or whatever. You're just like, why should I have it? No, that's like the joyful inside of you. But we put so much on that where we kind of like, it's kind of like a cloud to the sun. You can't see it anymore. So you have to get through all that horse shit, and it's called healing. So we get to heal and then find that inner child to bring them out, to bring them to the higher self.
We get discouraged in the realm of dating because of all the no's we were told as a child.
Yeah.
When you first started out, you didn't have an apprehension of going up to that girl, pulling her hair, and like, you know what I'm saying? Like all those cute little things that like 6-year-old and 7-year-olds do. And then through life, through other activities, you get told no all the time.
Yeah.
And then all these burdens and worries and self-consciousness and insecurities start happening. so that once you're an adult, and let's be honest, people that are coming to find the abundance in dating, to find the abundance in love through your programs, they're not 21 years old. They are, I'd like to imagine, have to be at least 30 and
that's
older.
That's most of our clientele, yeah.
And like you're saying, some have been married or now divorced and now looking again to finding someone else. Yeah. Through your program, through what I would call a life coaching aspect of the dating program, is to look back at who you once were and at the same time looking in the future to who you want to be.
Yeah, it's just break it down to authenticity. So if you are just your most authentic self, no matter what that is in your core, bring that out. And a lot of people won't because of like their ego, their protective nature of themselves, because they're scared of what people are going to think or what society's going to think or what your friends are going to think or any of that. Again, a lot of us are wearing a mask. 99% of people, I think, are just wearing a mask out there. And they have to be who they think society wants them to be versus who they really are. And that's what everybody wants to see. That's where we break down with vulnerability and intimacy. And if you can show everybody who you are, game changer. You will get rid of the people that aren't supposed to be there and you'll attract the ones that are.
I think that point that you just said is thinking that you have to be who you think society wants you to be is a big factor in you not getting the person you want because you're not being truthful to who you are.
You could be only doing, do, and you're not being. I had to learn this myself, and I'm in this space myself with just doing more being and not just doing whatever it is, getting whatever it is, business, money, girls, whatever. It didn't matter. If I could just be.
It's a massive thing that I talk to and I share with people on the podcast, off the podcast, is the simple phrase. In order to become, you must be. Mm-hmm. And that's true. If you want to become a person who can find a soulmate, then you must become the soulmate that you want to find.
Yeah, it's huge.
And that's another thing that I'm definitely, I can see through the program since I went online and I looked at the different options and the possibilities of what, someone in my area, if I were single, which I'm not. For anyone that's out there that's having an issue with dating and thinking that this is a quick way to find someone, it's not. This is a process in order to become a better person so that you can find the person that you really want in your life. But a big thing that I took away from what I read is it really teaches you on how to become the person that you want to become. Because there's a thing out there that, everyone's looking for, I'm looking for the one, the true love that's going to complete me, but you really need to become the person in order to attract the person.
It's realizing that you already are complete. And if you're not, and you need somebody to complete you, that's a complete wrong rhetoric. I understand like love and connection is a thing, but you have to love yourself and be complete with yourself and be okay by yourself. I remember this brings me back to something where I was just like, I had this external validation thing where I was like, I can't imagine just being alone for the rest of my life. And whoever I was like telling this to said, do you hear yourself? And I was like, what do you mean? She was like, you are connecting your happiness to somebody you don't even know yet. So what if that never happens? You're just going to be unhappy the rest of your life? I was like, fuck. So we must collectively as society, in your own being, be so fucking happy where you like nothing will ever be able to not bother you. We're all going to be bothered, but you'll be whole in yourself, and then you will attract everything. I don't like to say the word get because getting means we're clawing at something. Mm-hmm. But if you're able to just be in your energy, how you're supposed to be from your most authentic core, you will attract whatever you want, and being whole within yourself. And that means just waking up in peace.
And being that there are different tiers in the business that you run, I have to imagine when you have more of the one-on-one times, and I know this because I know you. Mm-hmm. So I imagine that a person that's paying a bit more for a bigger package where they get to have one-on-one time with you, this is very much the aspect of what I call, you're also a life coach. You're not just a dating service where you actually express to them your experiences and how loving yourself is a big part of it. And that's how we're going to get, once we get you to love yourself through this process, that's how we're going to be able to help you find the person that you want to find. Exactly.
And a lot of men, and I used to be one of these men, don't like those words, those specific words, loving yourself, inner child wounds. And I was like, I'm not a child, fuck off. That is a rigid protective ego that only showed up instead of tapping into, we both have these things, tapping into your feminine energy. Once you can be compassionate with yourself and be like, okay, yeah, I have feelings. Well, let's just talk about that. What's the problem? Like, you're a dude. You're allowed to have feelings. Let's bring that out. Take that fucking mask off. Let's see who you really are. And then you can start to heal and then build yourself up from a place of authenticity.
We are our own worst enemy in most situations. And the fact that you guys are willing to also do that as part of the package, as part of the business, is to basically help men start the healing within themselves through a process which inevitably they want to find a date. They want to find the ability to talk to girls, to be able to communicate better. But you're breaking it down into the real beginning part of it, where it's like, let's look at you. And that's the big thing with like the survey and like the one-on-one conversation to kind of see where you're at. And this is kind of like, you're going to get so much more out of this than just the desire of receiving a date. You're going to get you. I mean, in essence, it's a business, but you almost are going to be building a friendship with you as well.
It's all relationships. Yes. 100%.
Yes. And then through that, you get to know at least one other individual who's done the work on themselves. And now here you go. Let's put you in the Coliseum.
Yeah.
Let's put you out there and see what happens.
And you're also, you're not just going to get me and Chris as coaches. You will get a community of other men in this space. So if you just get the, whatever course we have and you just go through the modules yourself and that's what you want to do, that's fine. But there's also a school community of men that are talking about these kind of things. Like, we all have pitfalls. Hey, I'm doing this, whatever. And you all can just talk to each other and you can all exchange numbers. You can all, it's a kind of like a dating brotherhood of all, like, okay. And then from there, a lot of men don't even have friends. So then you get friends and then you can, oh, you're in the same business. Well, where do you live? Holy shit, let's go get a drink. Oh my God. Like, and then you can start maybe making money together. Maybe you go work out together and then maybe you're at the gym and like one of you sees a girl and the other one goes, hey, my friend, like, oh my God. And you're all one conversation away from the next relationship and the next thing that you want to be doing.
Right. And it's not just a relationship of
romance. It's a relationship in life.
It's a relationship of building all relationships, because like we said in the last episode, you can carry over all of these amazing skills that you'll learn through this program into every aspect of your life. The ability to change yourself through a program like this and know that there is a community of people. I assume through the website, is there like a forum?
So through the website for one, and then on there's a school. You ever heard of school?
Yes. So Alex Hormozy.
Yep. We have a school platform.
That's awesome.
And we it's great. And we have a school platform, and in there, once you get access to it, you will meet everybody else. You'll see all the profiles, all the intros, all the things that we're talking about. And there's topics about everything, like books to read, business opportunities, women, pitfalls in dating, funny stories. And this is to be honest, when you're dating, you're going to have some hilarious stories. And like, hey, how was your weekend? We're going to have a thing about like, tell us about your weekend. Sometimes you got drunk and you made a bad decision. Sometimes you got like yelled at by a woman. Some of it's really funny, right? But it's all learning if you really break it down. And when you break all the things down, funny or not, like, okay, we're going to learn from this. So there is a lot of fun. And who wants to date and have it be daunting? That sucks. It might be at first uncomfortable, but once you start learning, like, man, this is fun, that is because you're starting to build your confidence. And you're like, I don't need validation from some girl that I met at the bar that shot me down. You're gonna build more of a callous thing and be like, okay, she wasn't interested. All right, well, that's fine. Whatever.
Well, it's something that we touched on earlier on this episode, or maybe at the end of the last episode that we recorded, which is you will create the confidence to live life easier. Yes, things will happen that might come up again because we're human, but they're not going to penetrate you the same way they used to. It'll come into you, and what we talk about on here is allowing the bad or the negative situations to come in, but knowing as soon as they are that you just let it kind of like go through you. You just let it pass right through you, and then take one of these new skills that you have and implement that into your brain and get right back in it. Because through your program, what I think people need to understand is, let's not be naive. You may need to do multiple tests, multiple runs, multiple programs through the company to get to the point where the dates are successful. It's not a like, hey, one shot deal, do this program for this amount and you're going to have a date. That's not the reality of life. It's again, each individual is different. Each one of us has skills that are good and skills that are not good. And it's refining all of them so that you have the success rate go up in order. And just because you date one or two people, that doesn't mean you're not a bad person if you keep going on dates by using these skills.
Yeah, and I think that's where a lot of society it's down on that. Like, no, go date everybody. You see it all. Go make as much money as you can. Go date everybody. Go after everything that you want for yourself. Your inner child wants, your higher self, and you want. If it's some guys are just like, they want to be single the rest of their lives. They want to live a bachelor lifestyle and date everybody. Go ahead. As long as we're not using narcissism, manipulation to hurt people.
What we're saying is date as many people as you want. Through this program, you're going to learn amazing skills to be successful 100%. At dating.
No matter what you want.
Don't be disrespectful and be using it in order to get laid, because that's not.
If you're getting laid from a place of honesty, which is that will happen. If you're honest, you're still going to get everything you want in that realm. If you're only having sex unemotionally, and I can speak with this from an authoritative standpoint, you will find yourself in the empty pit of life where, yes, you're having sex, but you're like, this is nobody that I want to be with. And I've woken up many times and I've rolled over and I see this girl and I'm like, I don't even know who the fuck that is. And we're both naked and like with the whole thing.
It's an unhappy lifestyle. I know everyone looks at it as like, oh, but he's a rock star and it must be so much fun. And I'm sure some people are just fine with it. But the reality of the situation, if you have a little bit up here, is over time that will get boring.
Yep.
That becomes very
and you'll be
unhealthy.
You'll be desensitized as well.
Yes. And you'll have to do a lot more work in order to get back from that, in order to become a successful man in the dating realm.
Yep.
What I can see through the skills that one will learn through the programs is when you're out there in an environment of dating, regardless what the venue is, you will have the confidence not only to go up to someone, you'll have the confidence to be okay with the rejection.
Rejection is huge. And we teach a lot about rejection response. And not reacting, not being like, what the fuck or whatever. That is a little boy that can't get what he wants. It's not her. You don't even know her. You're not reacting to her.
Let's talk about a bit more of that.
Yeah.
What did you call it? Rejection response. I love that.
Yeah.
Because you have to get to the point where the rejection is okay and you're able to move on to the next opportunity. So how does one deal with this?
So if I always use like a bar or lounge situation because there's a lot of guys out there doing that, right? If you do get rejected, there's a way to go about this. If you are a emotionally constipated little boy inside, and if you don't know what that means, it means that you are dealing with a lot of fucking shit you haven't been able to deal with, and the rejection just added to that, and you're firing off on her. The thing is to just know you're allowed to feel it. First of all, you're allowed to feel rejection and be like, fuck, okay. If it's, you're new to this and you get rejected, it has nothing to do with you. That's the first. It has nothing to do with you. You say thank you and you walk away. That's all. She will be like, oh, that's a sign of an emotionally available man who's able to take rejection without blowing his lid or trying to insult me back. Once you get a little more into the communication process, there's a ways to maybe like spark something. But if flat out rejection, or even through that process, again, rejection, okay, there's a way to respond and not react.
So, I mean, a great thing is basically what you're saying is rejection response knowledge would be to understand to not be a child throwing his toys out of the toy box when the rejection happens. Right. And with what you're saying, which is super good advice, is if the rejection is there, you have options of what you could do. You could, if you said, hey, can I buy you a drink? And she's no, thank you. I'm not interested. Walking away is good. You could also just be like, hey, sir, just give her another one on me, please. Nice meeting you, and walk away. This is actually a great thing to do, because that response, which is not losing your shit and calling her a name or being like, oh, fuck you, that might instantly change her mind about you.
Yeah.
She could very well get into her head and be like, I just told him I'm not interested, and he was still nice enough that he got, oh, maybe that's a good guy.
Yeah.
Maybe that is someone I want to talk to.
That's somebody healthy. Wait. That's happened. Not that specific. Well, maybe that instance, but
it's possible.
100%. And an immediate rejection isn't always that.
Yeah.
Just maybe give her a little time. Maybe you're both there.
Well,
And
the
then-
thing is the great thing about, and again, we're going to say the bar lounge area, it's where I did most of my dating,
Yeah.
is I've been in a situation where, the rejection happened. I didn't make a big deal out of it. And I went off to where my friends are and drank, had fun, laughed out loud. And before the evening or the afternoon was over, that same person came over and started talking to me because, again, like you're saying, we never know what's going inside someone else's head.
Mhm.
We are all dealing with shit on a daily basis.
Yeah.
The most positive individual who has changed his life to become happy all the time still deals with shit on a
Of
regular
course.
basis.
Yeah.
So when you walk away maturely in the situation and that person goes on about their day and sees that you are still having fun and enjoying life, it might change their mind later on and be like, you know what, I'm really sorry about the way I reacted to you. I was having a bad day. I just broke up. My dog died. My mom passed. You don't know what it is. And the conversation can still happen.
Yeah.
And it might not even be that day. If you go to the same watering holes all the time, or if you go to the same areas to meet people, whether it's to different venues, that person might come around in a week or so. And because you learned the right skills from a program like you guys are offering, don't ever think that the rejection is forever.
Timing is a thing too. In dating, in a conversation, in relationships, in business and finance, doesn't matter. Timing is a huge thing. Sometimes a woman just isn't emotionally ready herself. If you put a woman on a pedestal and you think you have to choose her and appease her, do not do that. Do not do that.
There's a level of each individual in a beginning stage, not even dating yet, of putting someone up, but you don't want to put them up so high that you forget who you are.
Yeah,
That's the message is. You have to make sure you're good.
Yeah. Make sure you're good. And if she walks away, you're just like, okay, whatever. And it doesn't have to be bad. You'll see them somewhere else, be like, hey, what's going on? And maybe have a drink together. And then maybe there's something, maybe there's not. And it doesn't matter. This is all life and relationships. And it's exciting, especially when you don't put a outcome, when you don't attach to an outcome. If you always see this person, you're always attached to that outcome, you're never going to be able to be yourself.
Well, I think it aligns with what we say on here, which is about being present. If you're not present, then, the future isn't going to work out the same way. So if you're not being present with your intention, then the result's not going to be what you want.
Right.
If you meet a girl, and I've done this in my younger years, you met a girl and you had a great conversation and she was intrigued by you and you get the phone number and they're like, oh yeah, definitely call me. Let's go on a date. And, in my head, I'm already like, oh, it's gonna be so much fun. We're gonna date. Oh, there's that thing my friend's going to in 6 months. Oh, we're going to go to that. And you get so wrapped up in this other stuff that you forget that, like, hold on a second. Let's be present here with this person first. Let's see if I even actually like them after spending time with them.
Yes. The slow roll of getting to know somebody is the way to go. Instead of the love bombing. I'm sure that's a big buzzword these days, love bombing. That could be a lot of things, but if you're 1,000 miles out the gate, or guys or girls, if you get a guy, usually the guy does this. So a girl, if you're listening to this, if you get a guy out the gate that is trying to buy you trips and flowers and concert tickets, and you've known him a week or so,
probably not the healthiest.
No, pump the brakes. I'm not saying just ditch the guy, but like kind of like in your feminine energy, guide him to like, hey, why don't we just have another conversation? And maybe that could be a lonely dater. That could be a bad guy. That could be a lot of stuff.
He could be going through a lot of shit. He could be going a lot of shit. Void.
Sure. If you're trying to fill a void, and at the time he might mean all of these things, but if he gets his cup filled too quick and then you're invested, he's good. And he's going to be like, whoa, we've only known each other like a month. Like, what are you doing? After all these things that probably should have happened like 6 months in a relationship are happening very, very quickly, and you buy into it because it's nice. Like, oh my God, he bought me all these things. He's treating me great. But then you fill his cup way too fast. And like a month or so in, he's going to be comfortable after you had sex. Then there's a power exchange there. And then he might just be like, oh, I'm good. And then you're invested like, well, what the fuck?
What happened to all the stuff we were doing? Yeah.
Right. And then you just stopped. Like, what the hell? Yeah, I would pump the brakes and slowly get to know somebody.
Right. That's important. And not to sound contradictory to what we talk about on here about visualization is if you want things, we talk about how you should visualize like every detail of it. And then, that will help manifest what, you want. And obviously an aspect of what these guys are doing is they're coming to the dating platform because they would like to manifest, they would like to receive what it is they want in the future. It's okay to visualize the idea of all that sort of stuff when you met someone and you're like, okay, wow, this could be the one. I really like her. It was a great exchange, a great communication. You can visualize dating her often and doing all those things, but just remember that visualization is for you. That thought process of, maybe I'll take her to that thing in 6 months that my friend's having. But in the reality, which is now, focus on building what it is that the two of you, enjoyed in that first exchange of connectivity.
Yeah, 100%. And also, if you are living in scarcity and the other person's living in abundance, they might not put a priority on your connection at first. And it might if you attach all your energy to the one woman and you're waiting for her to text you or call you or respond or anything, you're just going to live in angst all the time. And then you're going to start thinking about all sorts of stuff. The trip that you're going to take in 6 months, the wedding that maybe you'll have one day with her, and all of these things. And it's not bad to have thoughts about these type of things if you really are invested with somebody and really love them, and all these are attached to them, or not attached but attracted, and she's attracted to you. But right out of the gate in the first couple of weeks, if that's happening and he or she is not, you just have to. That's where the slow build comes in. Go live your life. And then, yes, continue to communicate with her, and you'll find out communication techniques. There's all sorts of stuff here. Like maybe you'll have I'm a communicator on text. I like to text. I can have a quick conversation. And sometimes I had to learn that some people aren't going to get back to you right away because they're not on their phone. They're working. They just don't roll like that.
Not everyone does what you think they should do.
Right,
you
because
have to
you
be
just do
okay
it.
with what they do,
Yeah.
because in time you'll learn that maybe that person only messages at the end of the day when they're done work, because maybe their job is more demanding that they can't even have their phone with them.
And then you'll hear some people like, well, if they prioritize me, they would get back to me. Well, then you're not there yet.
Or if you prioritize them, you'll
Right.
understand
You'll
their
understand
position,
that-
and then they can't. There's a whole lot going on
so
there
much,
for
yeah.
sure.
And we can, again, in the program, this is why we talk about a unique circumstance. So if you just buy, the modules, that's one thing, but you're going to get what you're going to get, and the outcome's on you. If you do more than one-on-one, we will dissect your whole unique situation.
I believe the best thing with your business is the fact that people have to understand, men and women, they're coming into this industry to find someone, and this is normal 2025. Don't feel bad about going onto a dating site like this, which is actually authentic and actually genuinely wants to help you become a better person in order to attract a better person for you. But understand that you're going in this to learn about yourself.
Yes.
This business has been created to help other people become successful in dating and building relationships with each other. And that by taking the time to invest in yourself and invest in the business, you will in turn eventually create such wonderful skills that you will be able to be successful in so many aspects of life, not just dating.
Exactly. It's exactly correct. And I love that. I came from a place of maybe it's normal. I was younger, and the only way I was able to sleep with a woman if I was in a relationship with her. And then I had to learn myself after one of my relationships. I was like, fuck this. And I did what you did. But that confidence you build in yourself. You did the year. I just didn't stop for a long time. And I didn't, I always wanted to.
Oh, don't get me wrong. That was my year when I was in my 20s.
Yeah.
Similar things had happened along the way with other bad relationships that spiraled me into unhealthy
patterns.
Yes,
patterns.
Absolutely.
And you don't even know you're doing it. You get caught in this hypnotic rhythm, and that rhythm will get you to a web that you're spinning for yourself, and you don't even know you're in it. And it looks awesome to everybody else, especially your married friends who are like, dude, you're banging all these girls, fuck, what a life. And I'm like, this isn't a life. I'm living the life.
Yeah.
Sometimes you are. Sometimes you're like, you know what, I am. But also you're like, you know what, usually I'm empty.
But if you really think about what you were doing back then when you were getting laid all the time, is think about how much effort and work and time and consumption that you were putting into that game of trying to conquer someone of the opposite sex. And women do it too. There are some women out there that are just the same as men when it comes to that kind of avenue. But the great thing being that it's 2025 and we have other options than just going out to a bar a library, because that back in the day would have been a thing. There's so many other options, and this online dating thing is very difficult to find something that is real, where this is a real company doing real things for people to help them. Like I said before, it's not just about dating. It's genuinely about creating a better human being so that the dating becomes easier.
So we have a program also for online dating messaging and your profile, what that should look like to get like the best matches for you. That's a whole thing too, because we live in this space.
Yes, absolutely. Well, I'm very happy that you have created a better area in the space.
Yeah.
I love it. I fully back it. I believe in it. I definitely want to have Chris one day if we're ever
100%.
able
He
to
would
make
come
it
on here
happen. I would love to have him on the show as well. Everyone out there, all the information is down below if you want to get in contact with Tom and his company and all the different, obviously you can click on the website and all the other programs that are possible there. Men and women are welcome to come and join this business. If you happen to contact Tom through this podcast, I would love it if you could just drop a little, hey, I got this info from Lyfe Choices.
There is one last thing. Separate. There is also a matchmaking service that I have, and I've gotten to the matchmaking area as well. So if you're just looking for somebody you want to be matched up with, maybe not be like a dating client, there is matchmaking as well. It'll be on here too, the Tom Lemire Project. And there's a whole other avenue of networking that I'm doing with matchmaking.
Thank you very much, everyone, for coming out each and every week here. We appreciate you following us and subscribing. We'll see you next Tuesday at 2 p.m. here on the Lyfe Choices podcast. Much love, everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen,
you are now about
The Journey, Lyfe Choices podcast.